To yield 5 minutes to gentleman from Massachusetts, Mr. McGovern.
Gentleman's recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, let's be honest. We are here today because there hasn't been enough red meat thrown at the Republican base before the 4th of July recess. That's why we're here. So just in the nick of time, we have H.Res 895. The rule for this resolution is, of course, completely closed. Not even a substitute is made in order. You know, the Republican leadership of this House doesn't even make a pretense of being fair and open and democratic anymore. Under their leadership, this House makes the old Politburo look like a New England town meeting. It's disgraceful. This resolution purports to be about protecting our national security, about protecting the most sensitive secrets in the federal government. Mr. Speaker, no one in this House supports the disclosure of classified information that could genuinely endanger the lives of Americans. But we all know that's not what's going on here. In reality, it is an attempt to punish and intimidate the New York Times and other newspapers for publishing a story about the administration's surveillance of international financial transactions. The Times reported on surveillance of transactions through the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Communication, or SWIFT. But as the Boston Globe recently reported, the Bush administration itself has publicly and repeatedly talked about this issue since September 11th. And I ask unanimous consent to insert this article in the record following my statement.
Without objection.
Roger Cressy, a senior White House counterterrorism official until 2003, told the Globe, and I quote, "There have been public references to SWIFT before. The White House is overreaching when they say the New York Times committed a crime against the war on terror. It has been in the public domain before." Further, the Globe notes that a report to the UN Security Council in late 2001 said that SWIFT and other worldwide financial clearinghouses, and I quote, "are critical to processing international banking transactions and are rich with payment information. The United States has begun to apply new monitoring techniques to spot and verify suspicious transactions. The group recommends the adoption of similar mechanisms by other countries," end quote. How many times have we heard the Bush administration talking about the need to monitor and disrupt terrorist financial transactions? How many times have we heard them bragging about their success in doing so? Too many to count. So it doesn't even pass the laugh test when members of Congress start using words like treason, when they start calling for criminal prosecution against newspapers, when they circulate ludicrous Dear Colleague letters threatening to revoke the Times credentials to cover Congress. Even worse, Mr. Speaker, is the rank hypocrisy exposed by this resolution. The Bush administration and their Republican allies in Congress say they are outraged by leaks of sensitive information. Well, as the ranking member on the Rules Committee pointed out, where was their outrage when White House officials leaked the name of an undercover CIA officer in an attempt to smear her husband? Where was their outrage when White House officials leaked false and misleading intelligence about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq in order to bolster their case for war? Those leaks, I should note, were made to the same New York Times that has their knickers in a twist today. Where was their outrage when General Casey's plan for potential troop reductions in Iraq suddenly appeared in the Times and in other newspapers? Now, I assume that given their outrage today, we will never again see sensitive information attributed to a, quote, senior administration official or, quote, a senior House Republican. What's really going on here, Mr. Speaker, is that the administration and their allies have no problems with leaks to the press when those leaks advance their political agenda. But if a leak contradicts their agenda, suddenly they call it treason. They suffer from a case of selective outrage. This administration is obsessed with secrecy, with controlling the flow of information in this country, with shutting out the other branches of government, with signing statements that make clear they have no intention of following the law, with bullying their critics into silence by questioning their patriotism. And time after time, this Congress has acquiesced. For the Republican leadership, oversight is a four-letter word. Not since Richard Nixon has it been more important to have an unfettered and free press because that is the only check left on the imperial presidency in America today. Mr. Speaker, I am confident that the American people will see through this, and I urge my colleagues to do the same. Reject this closed rule and reject this resolution. I yield back my time.
Gentleman from Texas.
Mr. Speaker, thank you so much. Well, we just heard it. It's okay to